Alright, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Today I'm opening up 5 packs of Magic Origins with 5 different Planeswalkers on the artwork, or at least for the packs artwork. Let's see what we get. I think this will be my last week of doing this because packs are expensive and I don't want to I don't want to just buy a bunch of packs. I appreciate the views, I appreciate the comments, I really do. I like these kind of videos too, honestly, because you get to see people's reactions to things, and it's kind of like opening a gift. It's not. Oh, I bumped the camera. It's not the same thing, but you know what I mean. All right, we've gone through so many comments. I don't imagine that there will be a lot of different things to look at in here, but let's do it like that. Construct. Start target creature with power 3 or less. Interesting card. Alright. Just about at uncommon. Here we go. Seismic Elemental. Meteorite. I've talked about this before. I love this card. Knightly Valor from Return to Ravnica block. We got a Soulblade Djinn as our rare. Interesting. Essentially it gives all of your creatures prowess. I should probably do both like that. Prowess? Okay. Then we got an elemental card, always neat, and a Planeswalker flip marker card, also pretty cool. Pack 2 with Jace on the cover. Put this over here. Oh, there's a foil in this one. Extra Bloodlust, Shrouding Mist, Eyeblight Assassin, Aerial Volley. 1 green mana deals 3 damage divided as you choose among 1, 2, or 3 target creatures with flying. Red would never get a card like this, at least not in this standard format. There might be a card later on like it, where it's 1 red mana deals 3 damage divided as you chose among creatures. Green gets this because green could always deal 3 damage to flyers if it wanted to. It could block them. It has aerial. Oh gosh, Leaf Arrow. It has a lot of cards that deal damage specifically to flying creatures, and green's always been very efficient at doing that. But red, I don't think, could get a 3 damage for 1 red mana instant that divided it as they saw fit. There's a lot of other cards like it. There's one from Rise of the Eldrazi. It's 1 red mana and allows you to split it up between 2 target creatures and or players. So it's close as a sorcery, but I don't know if we'll ever get a red card that's 3 damage divided up and among 3 creatures. That would be very, very good among a lot of sideboards, because you could pick off token creatures very easily. Green gets to do this kind of thing. It gets to get rid of Thopter tokens, gets to get rid of all those kind of cards, because green hates flyers more than red loves to deal damage. Bellows Lizard. Hey, another Majoring Network. Nice. This will set lands here. On this side. Yeah, sure. Chief of the Foundry, also nice. Eyeblight Massacre, and over there. Our rare card is Outland Colossus. I think that's our 3rd Outland Colossus. Something like that. Decent. 6/6 for 5. It will replace the Theros creature that gets monstrous and destroys a flying creature. This doesn't have reach, but it can't be blocked by more than 1 creature, so more often than not it will better than trade against your opponent's creatures unless they have Death Touch. So that's something I think. And our foil card is Zyndakar's Royal. That's actually a nice foil. I might put this in my commander, in a commander deck with lots of land drops, because that's pretty good. You'd be able to use the fetch lands and put out a bunch of tokens. Terramorphic Expanse, Evolving Wilds. Yeah, any number of land cards. Ghost Quarter. You'd play Ghost Quarter and just pull it up on your opponent's turn to play it again on your turn. Why not? Play lots of extra land drop effects like Exploration or Skyshroud Ranger, just to put lands into play. Decent card. Foil, too. I think we'll put foils right here. That'll work. Got an island and a... I kind of miss the old cards that actually explained what effects were on the back. I like these cards, don't get me wrong. But when I started playing again, it was during... Alara block had already happened, and it was in the middle of World Wake. So you had these little cards that told you how things worked. That was pretty cool. Magic Origins, pack number 3 with Liliana Vess. Let's see. Oh, this one we're going to set. Let's set this one over here on the floor. Dark Dabbling, Chandra's Fury, Disperse, Orchard Spirit, flying but not really. Europur, Gearcrafter, Separatist Void Mage, Rabid Bloodsucker, Reclaim. Love this old card from Stronghold originally. It's the regrowth effect as an instant for 1 green mana at the cost of the top card of your library. In other words, you're essentially skipping your draw to do it, but at instant speed. Noxious Vapors is another great card among it because you can actually target your opponent and put one of their cards on top of their library. In the case of land destruction, you could put a non-land card on top of their library to slow them down. And I just like Reclaim in general. I've talked before about the format that I'm working on. Reclaim is the type of card that's actually very, very strong in that type of a format. Will we ever find out more about it? We'll see. I've had quite a few setbacks. Let's see. Psychic Rebuttal. Counter target instant or sorcery spell that targets you. And Spell Mastery. If there are 2 or more instant and or sorcery cards in your graveyard, you may copy the spell counter this way. You may choose new targets for the copy. Anointer of Champions. I think that's my 3rd of those that I've gotten so far. Blightcaster from Theros. No, wait. This was from M14. It works very well in Theros block. And then Orbs of Warding is our rare card. Well, I guess we'll put the tokens with the flip card marker. Orbs of Warding kind of reminds me of Witchbane Orb, but it also prevents damage that would be dealt to you for the 1 extra colorless mana. Witchbane Orb, on the other hand, destroyed any curses that were attached to you. So there's a little bit of a difference, but that's still a really good card. You can play both of them now in Commander. More likely to get them if you need them. Alright, on to pack 4 with Chandra Nalaar. And we'll put this one over there. I will clean them up later. Volcanic Rambler, Imprint, Tactician, Aerial Volley again, Maritime Guard, Veteran Sidearm, Titan Strength, Read the Bones, Calculated Dismissal, Counter Target Spell. I've talked about it before. That's a really good card. Sometimes even if they can pay it off, because of the Spell Mastery makes it worth it because you sap up 3 of their mana and you get to scry 2, and that's worth it. For the 3 mana instant, do it on their turn. Slow them down just a little bit. Sigil of Valor! Whenever equipped creature attacks alone, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each other creature you control. It's only 2 to get out and 1 to equip. The reason I like this kind of card, it allows you to put all of it onto 1 really good creature if you needed to. If you knew something would get through perhaps unblocked in a blue deck with a certain Thopter token related card, you could do it because you could tap those Thopters to make the creature unblockable. Sigil of Valor then gives the creature +1/+1 for each other creature you control that didn't attack. Well, you can only attack with a little creature anyway, but that's the unblockable one. The other reason why I like this card is with token decks, generally speaking, tokens don't get to have haste, but with this, they still get to deal some damage because it's a different effect. Not haste, but you're essentially getting more damage out of those creatures, and that's how you can look at it. So Sigil of Valor is a really good card. I'm expecting a lot of people to put them in certain types of decks. So that there. Next card. Oh, we got another foil on this. Angel's Tomb. Valoron Wordwings. Renown 2. When it deals combat damage to a player, if it isn't renowned, put 2 +1/+1 counters on it, and it becomes renowned. Then whenever a creature you control becomes renowned, draw a card. So 3 mana for 1/3 becomes a 2/4, and you draw a card for just the 3 mana. All the effects that give creatures you control trample really work very well. Now, being only a 1/3 kind of slows that down a little bit, but that enchantment that's +1, or that 1/1 red that gives the creature +3/+2 and trample, and then you sacrifice it if any player plays 2 spells, that works with Valoron Wardens because you get to give it trample, swing out with it, and even if you lose the enchantment, you got the +1/+1 and you drew a card. That's something to think about. And I think our rare card is Dark Petition, the Demonic Tutor effect. It's 5 mana, search your library for a card, put that card in your hand, shuffle your library. Then for Spellmaster, you get 3 black mana, which essentially reduces the cost of this to just 2 colorless mana. You get the 3 black to perhaps cast the spell you just looked for. So later on in the game, this costs kind of like a 2 mana card. And honestly, I look at this card so much, I think it's probably something Richard Garfield... See, Richard Garfield worked on Indestructible. It looks like the kind of card Richard Garfield did when he was trying to come up with ways to make older cards playable in Standard. That's why he had Miracle cards that give us, take an extra turn for just 2 mana, 1/1 blue. That's, he really wanted us to see how powerful that effect is, so he came up with Miracle. This Spell Mastery effect makes me think... Well, and it has Griselbrand and Liliana on it. Makes me think that that's something Richard Garfield came up with. I don't know who actually did. I'm not giving him credit where it's not due. He's a fantastic designer. Let's see, and our foil card is Celestial Flare. Target player sacrifices an attacking or blocking creature. That's a decent card. I think it's from M14 as well. And Plains and Nissa Ravain card, but not the card actually we're playing. But here is our Nissa Ravain pack. Gosh, I'd like to get a Nissa card. I might even take Kamal out and build a deck around her. Let's see, this pack we're going to... that works. Let's see, Demolish, Automancer, Weight of the Underworld, Might of the Masses, Water Corsair, Vine Snare, Heavy Infantry, Crickle Board. I'm kind of surprised we didn't get a Renown card that puts tokens into play. You know, like some kind of an artifact genius that it actually gets through and then decides, hey, that's a great idea for building an artifact, and puts a Thopter token into play when it becomes Renown. I don't know. And now we have a gold card, which we just about have run out of room. Fiery Conclusion. It's 1/1 red mana and it will deal 5 damage to target creature, but you have to sacrifice a creature to do it. The way this works then is you block 1 creature and you leave another creature unblocked. You sacrifice the blocking creature and deal the 5 damage to the other one. See, if this blocking creature was going to die, Fiery Conclusion puts some extra effort gets an extra use out of it before it does. Say if you're blocking something that has lifelink and you sacrifice your blocker, no lifelink damage will be dealt to that creature. And if the creature doesn't have, if your opponent's lifelink creature doesn't have trample, no lifelink damage is dealt to you, and your opponent won't gain any life. So you can, or you could just kill the lifelink creature with this effect. More often than not, what you actually want to do is block another creature, sacrifice that to kill the lifelinker. It's a weirdly defensive card for red, but I like it. And let's see, Thopter Engineer. Let's see, artifact creatures you control have haste. And our rare card is Harbinger of the Tides. Huh. Looks darker than it should be. But this is a good card. See, you can cast it for an extra 2 colorless mana, and you can play it as an instant, or give it flash. But when it enters the battlefield, you may return target tapped creature an opponent controls to its owner's hand. The reason I think it's like that is because it's if you could target your own creature and return it to your hand, Marrow Regerate would be too powerful, because you would possibly untap a Nykthos Shrine to Nyx, untap well, not a Clarion Caddy, but untap a lot of effects that just tap for so much mana. Harbinger of the Tides would constantly come in, and you would perhaps tap a creature for some another merfolk for some effect, get out 2 of these, however you needed to do it. Being able to pull your own creature back up and play it over and over again with perhaps an infinite amount of mana could break the game, and that's why they anticipate that. So that's why Harbinger of the Tides has to target your opponent's creatures, and it has to be targeting a tapped creature. Yeah, that really does look odd. Huh. Yeah, it's definitely darker. Oh well, I love it. It's beautiful. Excellent cards. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's WUBRG booster opening. Let me know if there are any combos you saw that I didn't see. If there's any cards you'd like me to talk about the next time I see them, feel free. Yeah, we've got another week of this, and then I'm going to stop. But I hope you enjoyed this booster opening video. I hope you're having a wonderful morning, a wonderful afternoon, or a wonderful evening. And I hope tomorrow is even better. Take care, everybody.